What's going on, Couch Fam? It is the final week of the fantasy football regular season. It's week 13, and these are my waiver wire pickups. I'm not going to lie to you. There are no good waiver ads at the main positions. We're still going to go through QB, running back, wide receiver, tight end. We'll do it kind of fast. I know most of you tune in for defense streams and streams for kickers. Anyway, so we're going to go over that. There are some pickups that might be available in your league, but chances are if you're in a competitive 12-team league, most of these guys are not available. We're still going to get into it. Let's do the bye weeks right now. So there are 2 teams on bye. Also, these are the last bye weeks. So every team has had their bye weeks except these 2. The Panthers and Buccaneers are on bye for week 13. Don't start any players here. Again, after week 13, no more bye weeks. Another side note, weather looks perfect again. Beautiful weather. Hardly any wind. It's quite amazing. We're in December now, and there seems to be no problems with wind. So if you're concerned about a quarterback throwing deep balls or people falling or slipping or kickers missing kicks because of strong, swirly, unpredictable winds, that probably won't be the problem this week yet again. For quarterbacks, I suspect, I'm really guessing, speculating that Tua is going to miss at least another week. So you got Ryan Fitzmagic here going up against the Bengals. And then the next week, if Tua also misses a game, he's going up against the Chiefs. We also have Ryan Tannehill going against the Browns. Derek Carr, now he does good, he does bad. He'll probably do well against the Jets. I know he was a disappointment last week to those that streamed him, but it is the Jets. They'll probably do worse than the Falcons defense. Taysom Hill, and then we got Carson Wentz. All 5 of these guys are pretty good options, I would say, and maybe Dalvin Cook's not quite 100%. These tackles and hits are kind of taking a toll on his body, so maybe Kirk Cousins will throw the ball more, and he's going up against a terrible Jags D. Then we have untrustworthy Jared Goff, and in super deep leagues, we got Rivers, Baker Mayfield, who I don't trust, Sam Darnold, who I don't trust, and Andy Dalton. Doesn't have good matchups, but he's playing on a decent offense. Colt McCoy might play for those of you in dual QB and Superflex leagues because Daniel Jones has a hamstring injury. I don't see how he would play, but I don't know. Maybe he does play. Maybe Daniel Jones only misses 1 week. The chance of Daniel Jones playing actually is very slim. It would kind of be a miracle if he did play week 13. And then we got Jalen Hurts just in case the Eagles decide to tank. And we got RG3 with Lamar Jackson actually has a realistic shot of playing week 13. Now I'm recording this before the Ravens Steelers Wednesday afternoon football game, by the way, so I don't know what happens. I'm recording it a whole 24 hours before. And what I did in my sleeper leagues, I just left waivers alone because I manage a lot of leagues and don't want to keep changing stuff. Some of you may have to have changed the waiver day. I think sites like ESPN automatically did it. I don't know what's going on. And Thursday Night Football is postponed too. Anyway, so look, do what you got to do in your league. Just survive. We're rolling with the punches. I'd say it's a very fair assessment that I can speak for everyone that we're thankful to have football this way, although it's very painful, stressful, crazy. I think we're all very thankful. We still have football. We still have fantasy football. It's much better than having nothing. For running backs, there's some elite options at the top. James White already picked up in competitive leagues, but if you're in a PPR league and James White's sitting there, he is a must-add. And then we got Cam Akers, who snake Sean McVay's actually keeping to his promise, and Cam Akers is actually the number 1 running back for now, and Malcolm Brown is more so the odd man out because Darrell Henderson's still getting some good runs. So it seems like Running back 1A is Cam Akers, 1B is Henderson. Probably, maybe next week it could be reversed, but I would say I'm fairly confident that Malcolm Brown is the third running back and is the odd man out. We'll see. I don't think that'll change. And then we got Frank Gore. He's actually been pretty good. It's the process of elimination here. Le'Veon Bell's eliminated because he's no longer on the team. And the other running back, LaMichael Pirine, got injured. So Frank Gore is the man. Latavius Murray, Jamal Williams, basically splitting with Aaron Jones. I'm not just putting Jamal Williams on this list because he, scored a touchdown and did better than Aaron Jones or nothing like that. I would have put him on this list anyway. He should be owned in a little bit more leagues than he is right now. And then I got whoever the Steelers running back would be. I'm pretty sure James Conner is going to miss at least another week. I don't think he'll be able to play week 13. Now, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure James Conner is going to miss at least another week. He's definitely out week 12, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be out week 13. Benny Snell is for sure the backup running back, but again, I'm recording this before the Wednesday game, so maybe we'll see a McFarland breakout game. I don't think Jalen Samuels is going to do much because he sucks, but we'll see. Maybe something happens. So I do have these three guys there. Really, Jalen Samuels is the one I don't really have much faith in, but Anthony McFarland in deep leagues, why not? Benny Snell in every league, why not? Starting running back on a great team, the best team according to their record. They're undefeated as I'm recording this. And then we got Brian Hill versus Ito Smith. Now, I was a bit surprised that Ito Smith scored 3 times as many fantasy points as Brian Hill, but as we can see why, it was the pass game. I guess I don't understand. You win by 40 points and still Ito Smith outscores Brian Hill because of the pass game. Whatever. It happened, and it seems like Brian Hill is still the guy who's going to get more carries. But if the game script says the Falcons have to throw the ball when they're playing the Saints, I don't know. Maybe Ito Smith is the man again. Regardless, this is a backfield you probably don't want to touch. They're playing the Saints. Todd Gurley might be back. He took 1 week off because of his knee. We'll see what happens there for the Falcons backfield. Then we have Alexander Mattison, Devontae Booker with Josh Jacobs hurt. Now, Josh Jacobs actually has a realistic shot of returning this week and not missing any time. And if he does miss time, he'll probably only miss 1 week. Seems like a very minor injury for Josh Jacobs. And we have Carlos Hyde, Tony Pollard, Jeff Wilson. For wide receivers, I was a little bit surprised that Debo and Ayuk are not rostered in more leagues. Now, in some leagues, like those guys are long gone and rostered. So it really is going to depend on your league. Some leagues they're being slept on. Some leagues they're like, they think it's stupid to put them on waivers. So this is one that's going to really vary and a lot of mixed opinions on these two guys, but both need to be rostered. That's why I both put them at the top. Sterling Shepard seems to be the number one wide receiver for the Giants, most consistent guy. As we saw, Darius Slayton got 0 points last week. That was horrible. And then Cole Beasley, had a tough matchup against the Chargers last week. Should bounce back. John Brown is still on IR. Cole Beasley, pretty much a must-add in 12-team PPR. We have Alan Lazard, the number 2 option in that pass game. He's back, baby. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, 0 fantasy points, week 12. Denzel Mims getting targets. And we have a super sleeper right here, ladies and gentlemen. Corey Davis, number 7. Going against the Browns, then the Jags, then the Lions, then the Packers. This could be an amazing ad if you're in a league. Let's say you got to start 3 wide receivers in a flex and it's PPR. Those kind of leagues, Corey Davis could be very helpful. I love him as a wide receiver 3 or flex option. He should do very well those games. We don't trust Jonnu Smith anymore. Corey Davis actually has put up over 10 fantasy points every single game, except one where he put up a stinker, and that was against the Bears. Other than that game, 10 plus fantasy points. That's pretty consistent. tight ends are a good team. And sometimes it's these guys that are right in front of us sitting there and we just overlook them. They're just not a sexy name. And that's Corey Davis right there. And then we got Michael Pittman, Brashard Perryman, Kiki QT. Now, this one I really could rank much higher into the top 5. I just don't know what's going to happen with the Texans because Will Fuller is suspended. He's going to miss at least the rest of this season, probably miss the first game of 2021 as well. So 6-game suspension. He seems that he's accepted it and he's going to just take the 6 games. Now, QT does, slide into that wide receiver 2 role. But why I'm so will they throw to the running back? When is David Johnson coming back? Jordan Akins is emerging. Will they run more 2 tight end sets, 3 tight end sets? All that is there. There's also another wide receiver. I really don't remember his name. It's like Coulter or something. So he's going to be the wide receiver 3 for now. Katie Still's not on the team. Randall Cobb is hurt. There's just so much going on right now that the 6th-string wide receiver now becomes a 3rd. And the Texans often surprise me, so I don't know what's going to happen. So QT could be top 3 on this list, or he could not even be top 10. That's why I got him here. And because of this unknown factor and all this weird stuff going on with the Texans right now, I have him ranked low. Not a guy I would trust. Also a guy I wouldn't be surprised if he got you 19 fantasy points. And we got Michael Gallup. Still on a decent team. He gets targets, gets snaps. T.Y. Hilton, Sammy Watkins, Damiere Byrd, Josh Reynolds, Gabriel Davis. Remember, John Brown is on IR still. Going to miss at least a couple more games. Colin Johnson, rookie wide receiver, 8 targets, was the best receiver on the Jags week 12. Of course, you know what happens when guys like Chark and Conley are out. The guys that we want to go off never do. And it's a guy like Colin Johnson who has a great game. And we have Russell Gage in case Julio is out again. For tight ends, same exact list. Really nothing to go over here. I'm being honest with you guys. There's really, this is the same exact list I got every week. So good luck with tight ends. That's really all I got to say. Zach Ertz probably will be coming back really soon. For defenses, that's what you guys all been tuned in for. Defenses and kickers. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be scared of the Colts defense. Look, I wouldn't recommend anyone start the Colts D last week. Apparently, more than half the leagues had him starting. I don't know why. It's against the tight ends. Wasn't bad, but also I get to see I can understand people underestimating DeForest Buckner being out. Now we learned to not underestimate that. Also going against the Texans, bad O-line, no Will Fuller, no Cobb, no Stills, probably no David Johnson, right? I don't think is he able to return? I don't know, but probably no David Johnson. Texans are a bad team. Colts are still a great defense, but they need DeForest Buckner back. If he can be back, I love this defense. It's one that I trust. With Defoe, I trust the Colts D no matter who they play. They're going to get me a couple points regardless. So, definitely worth an add. Maybe don't start them if Buckner is out again. If Buckner is playing, probably want to start them. Then we got the Seahawks D going against a Danny Dimeless Giants. Now, I've added the Seahawks D in a league or two, and they actually have a really good playoff schedule. I think they're facing the Jets soon. They're facing the Giants this week. I think their playoff schedule is great, except maybe one game. That could be week 16 or 17. So it's one of the best playoff schedules ever. This defense is not great. I know that. They've been playing much, much better. They always had the players, it seems like. And the narratives have been false. They don't get a pass rush. That's just been false. It's just that they've sucked playing together. Now, Jamal Adams getting more healthy and the secondary not playing really stupid anymore. This defense is actually solid. I dare to say they're above average. And when they're going against terrible offenses, an average or above average defense becomes borderline elite. They become top 10, maybe even sneak into the top 5. Like I just did. I had them on my list last week. I started them. They did well against the Eagles, got some sacks, got some turnovers. They're amazing. Now they're going against the Giants. Giants don't put up a lot of points. They just don't. Then we got the Bears D going against the Lions. That should be great. Hopefully Akeem Hicks plays. If that's the case, if you need to start the Bears D, also keep tabs on Swift and Golladay. I'm thinking they're going to be really close to returning, though. If those two are out, then boost the Bears D even more. Akeem Hicks plays, boost the Bears D a lot more, and I'm going to love that defense for week 13. And we got the Chiefs D going against the Broncos. Now it's really from 4 and beyond, it's really a crapshoot here. Chiefs D going against the Broncos. They're going to have their quarterbacks back, it seems like. Vikings D going against the Jags. Packers D going against the Eagles. Now, this is a tough one. We might want to rank the Packers D higher. I think they're going to allow some touchdowns and scores, but the Eagles should be able to make enough mistakes that they'll get points like sacks and turnovers and, a couple fluky plays. Like that happen. You get those fluky weird plays when you play against the Eagles for sure. Something will happen, a fumble or a tip ball. Like it's against the Eagles. So maybe want to rank them a little higher. Should I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We'll leave him there for now. And then we got the deeper leagues. We got the Raiders going against the Jets, Saints going against the Falcons. Boost the Saints D if Julio is out. Rams D going against the okay, I want to take a moment to say something here. Just because the Falcons did extremely well without Julio 1 week, that doesn't mean a trend. Now, I'm human too. Sometimes I make this mistake. Not all the way, but I might read into it too much than I should. Just because something happened the most recent week, the past week, doesn't mean it's a trend. Just because A.J. Brown had a bad game against the Colts doesn't mean he's going to have a bad game against the Colts the second time they meet. Just because the Falcons offense did well last week doesn't mean they'll do well this week. Just because Derek Carr did well week 11 doesn't mean he's going to do a good week 12. Doesn't mean anything about week 13. We have to realize that. We have to analyze other things other than how did they do the last game, because that's actually probably the least most important thing that's going to help predict what's going to happen. Now, you do want to look at that because we saw look at Carson Wentz. He trended the right way after the first couple games, and he was looking like, man, this is a QB1 I can start. Now, a new trend is he's looking like a QB that I want to stay away from. I mean, this guy's super risky. And so, yeah, it does help us identify some trends, but not really. I mean, even Carson Wentz, actually, he did better than a lot of other quarterbacks that you may have started, even though he's didn't do well in real life necessarily. I mean, he had that Hail Mary touchdown. He had some good rushing yards. So he did some things there. He threw a couple touchdowns. Like, even though, Wentz has been okay, fantasy-wise, not in real life. Kind of lucky too, but he's that type of guy. They're going to risk it. They're going to go for it. Not going to kick field goals. They're going to go for 2-point conversions, and Wentz does offer some upside. Anyway, all I'm saying is don't read too much into the most recent things that happened. That's called recency bias. And looking into what just happened 5 days ago or 3 days ago, that's recency bias to the fullest. So that's not going to be like, oh, he did this 3 days ago. New trend is starting. It's a new trend. Nah, not necessarily. Rams D going against the Cardinals. We just said that. Patriots D going against the Chargers. Chargers D going against the Patriots. And then in the deepest of all leagues, Cardinals D going against the Rams. For kickers, we have lots of good ones here. Don't get too mad at me for putting Younghoe Koo this low. I'm just going week to week. If you have Younghoe Koo, feel free to start him this week. Do not drop him. That's fine. Is he elite? He's super elite. He's amazing. There's no doubt about it. I'm just going as unbiased as I can and trying to give you which kickers will do the best this week. And I think that's Jason Sanders, the most accurate kicker I've ever seen in my life. Jason Sanders going against the Bungles. I like everything about this. He doesn't miss. He makes long distance ones. He makes short ones. You get the extra points. He'll have several opportunities. And the Dolphins D is good. They're also at home. I mean, everything points to Jason Sanders going off. I absolutely love him. Last week, I thought Daniel Carlson will do better. I'm much more confident in him this week. I'm not going to be scared if I had to start him going against the Jets. I absolutely love Daniel Carlson. Dan Bailey could be very good against the Jags. Stephen Gostkowski, Rodrigo Blankenship could be a huge bounce back game against the Texans. Now, you do want to do your due diligence and look at Jonathan Taylor and make sure the O-line is healthy for the Colts. If not, go ahead and rank him below Younghoe Koo. Chris Boswell, great matchup against Washington. Should be tons of field goals for the Steelers. Mason Crosby against the Eagles. A little bit unpredictable there, but I do love Crosby. I love his upside. Younghoe Koo. Jason Myers usually doesn't put up good points, but I think against the Giants he'll have lots of opportunities. Then in super deep leagues we have Matt Gay, Tyler Bass, assuming Matt Gay's starting, and Robbie Gould. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you subscribe to both YouTube channels. Ask the comments. Leave a comment below with your question. I'm going to answer every single question I possibly can. Make sure you subscribe to our second YouTube channel as well, Fantasy Couch Podcast. Good luck, everyone, this week. Let's go get that W. Let's make playoffs. Let's win a couple championships, baby. Peace out.